Sorry. Good morning. What if we all considered ourselves good enough? What if, when we looked at ourselves in the mirror, we saw ourselves as we see those in our lives whom we love, imperfect, beautiful, cherished, and whose company is desirable and sought out? How would that change our lives in the world? Recently, I was reading Alice Walker's excellent book, In Search of Our Mother's Gardens, a collection of essays from 1967 to 1982, and she terms this collection womanist prose. She defines womanist several ways. The last definition is actually an analogy. Womanist is to feminist as purple is to lavender. Much has been written about this analogy. All you have to do is put it in the Google machine and you'll see all kinds of cogitations on it. That analogy, in conjunction with the acknowledgments of the book, spoke to me about self-compassion. In the acknowledgement, she thanks people specifically for how they've contributed. What did I just do? Aubrey assured me I could do that. Okay, there we go. In the book, in an acknowledgement, she thanks people specifically for how they have contributed to the book, and then broadens her thanks to those in her life who have brought her into being as the writer of such a book. From her ex-husband and daughter to her parents and the good ladies of her church who embody justice for her, her final acknowledgement says, "I have been helped, supported, encouraged, and nurtured by people of all races, creeds, colors, and dreams, and I have, to the best of my ability, returned help, support, encouragement, and nurture. This receiving, returning, or passing has become one of the most amazing, joyous, and continuous experiences of my life." What I heard in the conjunction of those two pieces of writing was the deep appreciation of the robustness of lives generously lived and deeply heartfelt praise of those listed in her acknowledgement. That was the purple. Contrast that with the modification of her own contribution using "to the best of my ability," almost like an apology for the paucity of her offerings, the lavender. This is not a trait solely of Alice Walker. For many of us, we see our contributions as not quite measuring up to what we see others contributing. What if, instead, we could quiet the inner critic and accept ourselves as we accept those we love? What if we could love ourselves as fully as we love others, warts and all? How might we change the world? Come, let us worship together.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
I am Kikanza Nuri-Robins, and I am happy to share the pulpit this morning with Sue Bickford. This service comes to you by special request. A number of you have asked that we talk a little bit more about self-compassion. And so this morning, I light the chalice as we turn light on ourselves, as we turn light on the idea of being compassionate, not to one another, but first to ourselves. What happened? We may have a virtual light. We've got one more. I don't even know how to do this. What?
Got it. Let there be light.
Let there be light.
Good morning, everyone. No section leaders today, no choir today, just me.
No apologies. You are
I don't know if you've noticed, but we've been doing these solo Sundays. starting January, where our section leaders sing solo for like the first Sunday of the month. I don't know if you've noticed that through January, February, March, April, the 4 section leaders have done a solo Sunday. And so May, it's my turn. Birds flying high, you know how I feel. Sun in the sky, you know how I feel. Breeze drifting on by, you know how I feel. It's a new dawn, it's a new day. It's a new life for me, and I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good. Fish in the sea, you know how I feel. River running free, you know what I feel. Blossom on a tree, you know what I feel. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life for me, and I'm feeling good. The sun, you know what I mean, don't ya? Butterflies all having fun, you know what I mean. Sleep in peace when day is done, that's what I mean. And this old world is a new world and a bold world for me. Stars, when you shine, you know how I feel. Scent of the pines, you know how I feel. Oh, freedom is mine, and I know how I feel. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life, it's a new life for me. And I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life, and I'm feeling good. Thank you.
Welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Community Church of Santa Monica. I'm Sue Bickford, your worship associate for this service. We're delighted that all of you are present with us in the sanctuary, and we're grateful for the technology that enables so many of you to connect with us online There's a women's weekend at De Benneville where there's a lot of women this morning, and I'm wondering if they're connected to us online. Whoever you are, wherever you are, we're glad you're here. We hope this will be an empowering hour for your week. If you're new to our community, please know we hold many meetings at small groups remotely, even as we are opening up our campus. There are many ways to learn about us and become involved. We offer programs to serve the needs of our congregation and to be of service to the larger world, including religious education and personal development for people of all ages. We also join with other social justice advocates for work for justice and harmony in our world. Unitarian Universalism is not defined by creed or dogma, but is guided by principles that affirm the worth and dignity of every person and encourage an individual search for truth and meaning. We honor the wonder of existence and believe that we are all connected to each other and to the interdependent web of life. Our beliefs are drawn from scripture and science, nature and philosophy, personal experience, and ancient tradition. We are an open, affirming, and welcoming congregation, diverse in backgrounds, identities, spiritualities, and philosophies of life. Whatever your beliefs or faith tradition, we invite you to join us in building community where, together in our diversity, we are united in our desire to live the principles of our faith and to serve the wider world. An important step on that journey is our acknowledgement that our church and the homes of most of our members are on the traditional, ancestral, and unceded lands of the Tongva, Chumash, Keys, and Gabrielino people who continue to live here and have cared for these lands for thousands of years. We recognize and mourn the often deadly harm inflicted on the indigenous people of this country. We lift up their grace, resilience, and the relationship with these sacred lands. Now for the announcements. Now, detailed announcements are published in a weekly email on Thursdays, and if you're not on that list, you can call the office and get there. I have a few specific announcements for this morning. First one's about getting back to old habits. Church groups now meeting at the cottage should be sure to make sure that all the doors and the gates are closed and locked when they're finished. Thanks for helping to keep the community secure. Now, if you'd like to participate in our flower ministry, bringing fresh flowers to the sanctuaries on Sunday, please contact Amy Brunell and Chella Metzger. And we'd like to acknowledge Bob Dietz bringing in these beautiful ones this morning. This afternoon, from noon until 2, please plan to join us for our first in-person bylaws refresh town hall. You'll have a chance to ask questions, provide feedback for the task force to consider. And finally, we're thrilled to share that our own Dr. Susan Hendricks Richmond completed her Doctor of Education degree in Educational Leadership from Cal State University, LA this past week. Her dissertation title is Legitimizing Family Child Care Providers' Unexplored Entrepreneurial Experiences for Curriculum Inclusion in Higher Education. Additionally, she submitted a proposal related to the research and it was accepted. She'll be presenting at the National Association for Family Care Child Conference at the end of June. Susan would like to express her gratitude to UUSM. She wrote, UUSM has been with me through the entirety of my journey, and I'm grateful for the kind words of support from so many. Thank you. News is also available on our online newsletter at news.uusm.org, a rich source of information about our church and upcoming programs. And please stop by the stewardship table and make your pledge for the coming year. Longtime former church member Jim Caldwell, who's now in Connecticut but still hangs and gets connected with us, has offered to match your brand new or increased pledge dollar for dollar when you respond by May 10th. Whether you respond on the church website, have the 2022 pledge drive page, or return your pledge card by mail. Thank you, Jim. And now our opening hymn.
Please rise in body or in spirit, and let's sing our opening hymn, number 95. Oh, I already have a hymnal. There is more love somewhere. There is more love somewhere. I'm gonna keep on There is more love somewhere. There is more hope somewhere. There is more hope somewhere. I'm gonna keep on till I find it. There is more hope somewhere. There is more peace somewhere. There is more peace somewhere. I'm gonna keep on till I find it. There is more peace somewhere. There is more joy somewhere. There is more joy somewhere. I'm gonna keep on till I find it. There is more joy somewhere. There's more love right here. There is more love right here. There is more love right here. I'm gonna keep on till I find it. There is more love right here. One more time. There is more love right here.
Please stay standing for our covenant. Now, can we flip the next slide? It's in English and Spanish, and just as we've been doing online for 2 years now, we're going to practice doing it together. And you can see it's broken up. We'll do the English and then the Spanish. It's also printed in your order of service. This is definitely not a performative piece. I need you to do this with me. Right there. Okay. Love is the doctrine of this church. The quest for truth is its sacrament, and service is its prayer. El amor es la enseñanza de esta iglesia. Buscar la verdad es su sacramento y el servicio es la oración. To dwell together in peace, to seek knowledge through freedom, to serve humankind in fellowship, thus do we covenant with each other. Vivir juntos en paz, buscar el conocimiento en la libertad, servir a la humanidad en comunión, así es como convenimos unos a otros. And our hymn of praise. It's hard to get back into the habit of all the things we used to do coming back to church. This is the first time I've remembered my name tag. First I had to find it, and now I have to remember it. And same with the food for the food bank. Food donations for the West Side Food Bank have started again. And if you have an offering for the West Side Food Bank, you may bring it forward now to our basket. Pre-pandemic, we would have invited you to now sit at the chancel for the Time for All Ages, but we're still practicing social distancing, so returning to our seats after dropping off the food is still our protocol. There's some in the basket. Okay. This week, as I was thinking about the time for all ages, I was thinking about our theme of self-compassion, and I was thinking about how we might be kinder to ourselves. And I found a book called Listening with My Heart by Gabby Garcia. It's a child's book, and this book is about a young girl named Esperanza, whose day started out really well. Now, she was a little nervous because she had a part in a play at school later in that day, but on her way out the door, she found a heart-shaped rock that she took to be a good omen for the day. And the rock said to Esperanza, "Put your heart into all you do." And that thought made her feel more relaxed about the play. And right then she found an abandoned kitten and put her heart into thinking about how she could help the kitten with her mama's help. And at recess that day, she noticed a boy, Bao, from her class sitting alone. He was new to the school and to the country, and English wasn't his first language, and he was having a hard time connecting to the other students. So Esperanza approached him, and thinking about heart and kindness, found a way to talk to Bao. They really enjoyed their time during recess, and Esperanza was feeling really good about putting her heart and kindness into all that she was doing. Then came time for the play. With everyone watching, Esperanza tripped as she came on stage and then forgot all her lines. Her teacher helped her with her lines from off stage, and Esperanza muddled through, but she got off stage as soon as she could and found a place to hide. As she sat there criticizing herself for ruining the play, all the things that she had done wrong came flooding back into her brain. She messed up a soccer play and the other team scored. She'd gotten a simple answer wrong on her quiz in class, and words like stupid and useless began to creep into her mind. But at that moment, Bao found her. He handed her a picture of them playing that he had drawn, and across the top, in perfect English, he had written, "Friend." Esperanza took the picture, and a new thought entered her head that made all the others disappear. Even after her embarrassing entrance on the stage, Bao still saw her as a friend. Maybe she could treat herself and her mistake like she was a friend to herself. She knew she still liked her friends after they made mistakes. Maybe she could like herself too. At the end of this book are some actions to take to remind us to treat ourselves with self-compassion and kindness. I'd like us to do one. Okay? We'll start by wrapping our arms around ourselves in a gentle hug. If you'd like to, you may close your eyes. Now take a couple of deep breaths and repeat these words. When I feel sadness, may I treat myself like the friend I need. When I feel sadness, may I treat myself like the friend I need. May I show love and kindness to myself. May I show love and kindness to myself. When I feel anger, may I treat myself like the friend I need. When I feel anger, may I treat myself like the friend I need. May I show love and kindness to myself. And now we're going to make it personal. When I feel fill in the blank, may I treat myself like the friend I need. When I feel, may I treat myself like the friend I need. May I show love and kindness to myself. And now our song of blessing.
We have a new song of blessing this month, which is 326 in our gray hymnal. And I invite you to sing along. Let all the beauty we have known. Let all the beauty we have known illuminate our hearts and minds, rejoice in wonders daily shown, in faith and joy and love that binds, life's music and its poetry. Surround and bless us through our days, for these we sing in harmony, together giving thanks and praise.
So this is the time for us to acknowledge the joys and blessings in our lives and in our world. We're going to do it this morning using a practice from the Buddhist tradition, the loving kindness meditation. Now, we have in our hymnals a song that we call the loving kindness, and some of you know that it comes from this Buddhist tradition, and some folks didn't know that. But it's a meditation of care and concern and tenderness and friendship, a feeling of warmth for oneself and others. It's a practice to soften one's mind and one's heart and to open up to deeper and deeper levels of feelings of kindness and pure love. So loving kindness doesn't mean and doesn't depend on your relationships with one another or how the other person feels about you. It's a process of first softening and breaking down the barriers that you may feel inside about yourself, and then thinking about others. And so with the loving kindness meditation, it's very simple, and it's very much like what Sue taught us just a few moments ago. And so we repeat the words over and over. We start with self, and then we go outward. So it's I, and then you, and then us, and then a few more. So if you would sit comfortably, if you would focus energy on first yourself, and on those that you love and those that you don't know. And let's just see, as we do this loving kindness meditation together. And as the words become familiar to you, if you would like to say them with me, you are welcome to join me. If you just want to let the words fall on you or around you, you're welcome to do that. May I be well, healthy, and strong. May I be safe and secure. May I be loved and cared for. May I be happy. May I abide in peace. May you be well, healthy, and strong. May you be safe and secure. May you be loved and cared for. May you be happy. May you abide in peace. May we be well, healthy, and strong. May we be safe and secure. May we be loved and cared for. May we be happy. May we abide in peace. May our loved ones be well, healthy, and strong. May our loved ones be safe and secure. May our loved ones be loved and cared for. May our loved ones be happy. May our loved ones abide in peace. May those difficult ones be well, healthy, and strong. May those difficult ones be safe and secure. May those difficult ones be loved and cared for. May those difficult ones be happy. May those difficult ones abide in peace. May the world be well, healthy, and strong. May the world be safe and secure. May the world be loved and cared for. May the world be happy. May the world abide in peace. May it all be so. So one of the guiding principles of my work is that I only ask people to engage in activities that I have done myself. So I never ask you, whoever you may be, to do something that I'm not willing to do myself. Doesn't mean that I can do it well, but it means that I try. So today, we're talking about self-compassion. And in the spirit of we're all in this together, I took some time to reflect on the kind of compassion that I offer to myself. So the question is, how kind am I to myself? Well, I've always struggled with the tension between being polite and standing up for myself. So I no longer say, I'm sorry if you step on my foot, but I rarely speak up if you cut in front of me in line. Now, if you are usually late and I don't want to be, then I will meet you there inside instead of waiting for you and then being upset because we're both late. I don't argue with fools or with people who insist on being foolish. I will not try to convince or convert, and I may not even interrupt a rant, but it doesn't mean that I agree with you. It just means that I have disengaged. That keeps me whole. If you say, Kikanza, would you fix this? My response most often is, that is not my mess. I didn't break it. I'm not fixing it. Fix it yourself. Takes care of me. I have learned that a rude question does not need a response. This one was really hard because I was taught direct question, direct response. So I don't respond. Sometimes I just say nothing. Sometimes I just look, like, really? You said that to me? And sometimes I'll say, well, why did you ask? Which kind of causes people to back up a little bit. On the other hand, I still say thank you for gifts that I don't appreciate. And I still don't say, do you know me? What were you thinking? Although I'd like to. I have trained everyone not to expect an immediate response to emails or texts or phone calls. I buy the best that I can afford for myself unapologetically, and I tolerate no judgments about how I spend my money. I like shiny things that sparkle, and I like engines that have big noises and go fast. I think about exercise every single day. And there is, I had a list of names that I called myself, but now it's down to just one. There's only one name that I call myself, and that's only when I deserve it, and that's dumbass. So my list is incomplete, and it's imperfect, because self-compassion is not easy, and I am a work in progress. So it's important to distinguish between self-compassion and self-care. So remember the 9-cell matrix of care that I've talked to you about. So across the top, we have nutrition, exercise, and rest. And then down the side, we have mind, body, and spirit. And so you ask yourself, what do you do? How do you feed your mind? How do you rest your mind? How do you exercise your mind? How do you feed your spirit? How do you exercise your spirit? How do you rest it? And what do you do for your body? Rest, nutrition, and exercise. So it's a really important activity, and you use the matrix to see how well you care for your mind, your body, and your spirit. And it's basic stuff. That's self-care. Now, you might have wonderful activities in each and every one of those 9 cells. I doubt it, but you might. But you might still be lacking in self-compassion. Self-compassion is offering kindness and forgiveness and grace to yourself. Self-compassion is proactively protecting your boundaries, creating spaces of love and belonging for yourself. It means creating your tribe instead of pining for love from a tribe that doesn't have any love for you. Care provides the basics. Compassion fills the space with kindness and grace. Now, I have a favorite nephew. I have several nephews, but I have a favorite, so don't tell the others that I have a favorite. When he was a little guy, I had a big contract in the city where he lived, so I was there often. And instead of staying in a hotel, which was a big sacrifice for me, I would stay at his house and sleep on the couch. And I did this because early in the morning, he would crawl out of his bed and snuggle up to me in my bed and say, "It's good to have you here." Melts my heart. Unprompted words of love, like a soft summer shower. That's what self-compassion feels like. Self-compassion is a form of self-love. So imagine if you loved yourself well, what might your life look like? It might mean letting go of a painful past instead of holding on to your pain or pining for connections and apologies and experiences that you didn't get and you won't get because it's all in the past. Instead of longing for something that never was, because that is a futile exercise. If you can identify your parents or your partners or your friends' mistakes, self-compassion means taking responsibility for your own health and wholeness. Self-compassion means healing your heart with compassion from you, with love and patience as you grow. So, you need an example? Perhaps a parent or a caregiver or a friend offered compassion and grace in your relationship with them. So, is there one person? You're lucky if there's one, you're lucky if there are more than one. But think about the person who loved you well, who loved you in the way you needed to be loved, who said the things to you that your heart longed to hear. How can you give that love to yourself? What did they say to you? What would happen if you said those things to yourself? So it's hard to do this stuff. Self-compassion is hard, and it takes practice because it's counter to popular culture. It's counter to what our mothers taught us. We get many lessons throughout our lives that do not promote self-compassion. We are taught it is better to give than to receive. No, it's not. We are taught to always be polite, even when someone is being rude and mean to you. We are taught, don't be selfish, share with your brother, share with my brother. You know, I have the older brother, 15 months. I'm the smartest, but he's the oldest. So we'd get a treat, he'd gobble up the retreat, his treat, and then he'd say to his mother, I don't have any candy, I don't have any ice cream. She'd look at me and say, share with your brother. He had some, and I still had to share with him. So don't be selfish. Psh. And then we're told, you don't need that. You don't need that. It's not about need. If we're sitting here in this pew and we get something, it's not about need. It's not about need. And then we are encouraged to apologize for ourselves. Apologize because you did something that is in sync with your temperament, that is in sync with the way you see the world, that is in sync with what you want to do with your life, and people want you to apologize for being who you are. And then this one is really hard. We're told family first. Always, always family first. See, these dictums often suggest that you be unkind to yourself because it's better. See, self-compassion is not self-pity. It's not weakness. It's not narcissistic, and it's not selfish. Self-compassion means giving up putting yourself last. Self-compassion means giving up denying yourself, especially when others don't even notice it or expect that you give up something for yourself. See, self-compassion doesn't mean that you have to be kind to everyone. It doesn't mean you have to forgive everyone. It does mean, though, that you have to guard your boundaries. Choices you make sometimes include sacrifices, especially if you have chosen to be a parent. Well, then you are going to have to sacrifice or give some things up. But self-compassion means loving yourself well even then so that you can take care of others. It means putting your oxygen mask on first. It means doing the work so that you can bring your whole and healed self into the room as you love and care for others. Now, if self-compassion is a new idea for you, where can you start? I would suggest just one act of kindness for yourself. One thing, just one thing, one small thing, every day. So if you have no idea what to do or where to start, you can make a few lists. So get 3 pieces of paper, and at the top of one write, I want. And at the top of another write, I don't want. Don't put them all on the same piece of paper because I want your list to be long. And then on the third list, I am willing to consider, like I consider exercise every day. So I want, I don't want, I'm willing to consider. Doesn't even mean you will consider it, but you're willing to consider it. So now you've got a list of things that you can do for yourself, and just pick one from one of those lists. So if your focus is on help, you might ask for help when you need it. You might not accept help if it's not help. How many times has someone said they're helping you and all they're doing is messing up? So you don't have to accept that. And if you don't get the help you want, consider not doing the thing. I used to do a big thing for Christmas, and I'd decorate the house, and we'd have a decorating party, or I'd have a party, and the decorations are all up, and lots of food and music and fun, and people would sometimes help to put the stuff up. I could never get anyone to help me take the decorations down. So I decided I'm not doing this anymore. I can't get help taking it down, then you all do it yourself. And so for years, you're going to have your party? You're going to have? No, I'm not, because I couldn't get any help. So that's one. You can ask for help or refuse help or just deal with this whole idea of help. Second thing you can do, you can practice saying ouch and no and stop it. You say no when you mean it. And you don't have to explain. You don't have to apologize. You don't have to give excuses. The answer is no. The answer is still no. I don't need to know why it's so important to you. The answer is no. I'm not doing it. Stop. If someone is doing something that you don't like, that is not good for you, that is offensive to you in your environment, within your boundary, you need to stop that. Stop it. Just stop. Stop right now. Stop it. And then ouch when it hurts. So sometimes it's hard to let people know that they have wounded you because we're being polite and we don't want to hurt their feelings and make them feel badly. So sometimes all you have to do is say, ouch. You don't have to have this long conversation about how they have harmed you. They say something, you say, ow, ouch. That didn't feel good. And leave it at that. You made the point. Another thing you can do is guard your boundaries. Don't allow yourself to be bullied into settling for something. Don't allow yourself to be flattered into doing things that you really don't want to do. Like, oh, Kikanza, you give really good parties. Yeah, I know. And you're not coming because I'm not having that one. Don't allow yourself to be talked out of decisions that you have already made. What would be different about your walk in the world if you treated yourself with the same love and compassion that you offer to others? The loving kindness meditation is another good place to start. You can just do the loving kindness meditation and maybe just stick with the first verse. May I be well and healthy. May I be happy. May I live and walk the world in peace, until it feels comfortable for you to affirm something for yourself. See, loving kindness involves sending goodwill and warmth toward others, but it starts with self. And so we are reminded in the words of David White, where do you start? You start close in. Don't take the second step or the third. Start with the first thing, close in, the step you don't want to take. Start with the ground that you know, the pale ground beneath your feet, your own way of starting a conversation. Start with your own question. Give up other people's questions. Don't let them smother something simple. To find another's voice, follow your own voice. Wait until that voice becomes a private ear, listening to yourself. Start right now. Take a small step, a step that you can call your own. Don't follow someone else's heroics. Be humble and focused. Start close in. Don't mistake that other for your own. Start close in. Don't take the second step or the third. Start with the first thing, close in. That step towards self-compassion, that step you don't quite want to take. Be kind to yourself.
And now here's the part where we say we come together for more than ourselves. Our practice here at UUSM is to dedicate half our Sunday offerings to organizations doing work in the world that advances our UU principles. The other 50% of the offering is used to support the life of our church. UUSM's generous congregation program supports our church community. And together, we uplift the reach and impact of vital organizations doing work we cannot do on our own. This month, half our Sunday offerings will go to Sojourn, a program of the People Concern. Since 1977, Sojourn has provided free, comprehensive, empowering services to survivors of domestic violence. The People's Concern Domestic Violence Program offers a full range of services designed to provide safety, stability, ongoing support, and violence protection programs for adult and child survivors of domestic violence. These services include 24/7 hotline, emergency and second stage shelter, support groups, children's programs, a legal clinic, and community outreach. Please join us in supporting the mission of our church and Sojourn. There are many ways to give. The ushers are going to be coming up with our donation bags through to spread through the sanctuary. Through our website, uusm.org, click the Make a Donation button or scan the QR code on the screen with your smartphone. Texting 844-982-0209 on your smartphone with the amount followed by the code GCC for Generous Congregation Contribution. You can also use that for PLG to make your pledge, or IDC for another non-pledge donation, or you can write an old-fashioned check to UUSM. Your generous contributions support the work and communities we hold dear. Thank you.
Make my love like a river, I sat thinking it would be, covering the in-between and joining you to me. See, I knew that you would wander, and I thought you could be free. I guess I thought that this is what you wanted, but I won't love like this again, because it wears the heart too thin. So make my love like a circle, no beginning and no end. Give me love like a circle, and I'll be happy then. Make my love like an ocean, I said, deep as deep can be. My might of heart enfolding you, your heart defining me. Is there anything so awesome as the fury of the sea? The violence was beauty for a moment, but I won't love like this again. It changes with the southern wind. So make my love like a circle, ground on which I can depend. Give me love like a circle, and I'll be happy then. I seem to live in straight lines. My life is made of straight lines. Before or behind, I can't escape the straight lines. Oh, so make my love like a circle, oh, and teach my heart to bend. Give me love like a circle, and I'll be happy then. Please rise in body or in spirit for our closing hymn, How Could Anyone? This is 10:35. 10:53. Very close. How could anyone ever tell you you were anything less than beautiful? How could anyone ever tell you you were less than whole? How could anyone fail to notice that your loving is a miracle? How deeply you're connected to my soul. How could anyone ever tell you you were anything less than beautiful? How could anyone ever tell you you were less than whole? How could anyone fail to notice that your loving is a miracle? How deeply you're connected to my soul. How deeply you're connected to my soul.
This service is over, and our service to the world continues. Thank you so much, Ryan and Sonder, for the music that just cracks me wide open. Thank you, Aubrey and Mia, for all the tech help, and Tom for all the things that you do behind the scenes to make this service work. Thank you all for coming out and wearing your masks and getting vaccinated and supporting what we need to do so that we can come together physically in this community. Thank you all who continue in your faithfulness online. There's so much to be grateful for. There is so much kindness in the world. There is so much more we can do for one another and for ourselves. So go now. Go knowing that we are called to build a beloved community, and that community starts with self-compassion. Go and love yourself.